My name is Ejisu By-Election. This is Election Brief. Within the next 30 minutes, we have the latest update coming from the political scene. We're live on DSTV channel 421, GoTV channel 125, and all our social media handles at Joy News on TV. My personal handle is Adenana Aisha. Election headquarters is brought to you by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Chartered Institute of Management Accountants, SEMA, the American Institute of Certified Public Accountants, together as the Association of International Certified Professional Accountants, and German Ozone Medical Center, Alternative Therapy, Dental Wellness and Beauty. Election headquarters for an informed electorate. The Ministry of Roads has intensified the pace of construction of some roads in Ejisu constituency as the parliamentary by-election draws nearer. Contractors have doubled up activities on the road, some of which were already under construction. Some constituents who are out at the speed of work say their minds are made up in going into the polls. Nana Aljima visited the constituency to gauge the mood of the electorate and has filed this report.
Caterpillars and other earth-moving equipment have been deployed on the Onye Continency Road. On March 28, many mourners, including government functionaries, used this road, which was riddled with potholes, to attend the one-week rite of the late MP for Ejisu, John Kuma. But the road is currently undergoing massive transformation. Minister for Roads and Highways, Francis Asenso-Boakye, addressed NPP supporters at Ejisu.
Contractors are contractors
all the contractors working in Ejisu are established ones. One of the best contractors in the country is Kofi Joe. He's the one working on the Onye stretch. The work being done here is amazing. On the Donyina Road, Luma is seriously fixing the road.
And so another contractor, the fellow, Lome, also here, Juma Hopa, LJB, and so air twice or honor. Atashi, a child room, or here, Juma, one of the best contractors.
According to the minister, 247 kilometers of the road projects are being undertaken in the area. 73 kilometers of the roads are under highways, 83 kilometers under feeder roads, and urban roads have 93 kilometers. In setting the records straight, the NPP government says it is solely responsible for the projects. Kofi Ampo for Japan is constituency chair of the NPP.
Road minister.
Someone is taking credit for the roads being done in the area. If that was true, the individual would have been named here. If you want power, just be truthful.
Meanwhile, some electorates in the Ejisu constituency say the intensity of work on the roads is election-related. Respondents, however, say this will not influence their decision at the polls.
The roads are being done for our votes. This happens whenever there is an election. Sometimes they abandon the road after the election. The roads are for political reasons. They can pack out after the election. I am bent on bringing back the former MP, Owusu Ejiomi. It is good they are building the roads, but they should also give us money. We want them to give us jobs. We are strong enough, but we do not have any jobs.
Joy News checks at Kumawu, where a by-election was recently held, has revealed road construction in the area have slowed down. The roads were started days before the by-election. For Joy News, Nana Ojima reporting.
6 candidates have filed to contest in the upcoming by-election at Ejisu constituency at the close of filing on Thursday. The seat was declared vacant after the demise of MP John Aponso Akuma. The 3 independent candidates, including former NPP MP Kwabno Wusu-Eduomi, filed to be part of the process. 2 women who will be in the race include Esther Say for the CPP and Beatrice Boachi for LPG. The NPP seeking to retain the seat with Kwabna Boateng Joseph at Accra is among the independent candidates. A public servant, Oheneba Fredria Ajaman, is hoping to break the monopoly of the NPP in the constituency.
Thank you very much. You see, what I've observed is that when you talk about revival starts from somewhere. At least maybe one person can raise alarm. That was in Askan, Choboy, and you say, yay. So I'm raising an alarm that we need change from that mindset. Political, party. That if you paint even this vehicle, there in some colors of any party, we will vote for that people. We have to change. That we will vote for the people, not for the party. So that's why I'm advocacy for the constituency, the people of my area, that they will vote for Fredri Ajimai, who is going to represent the people, not to represent party. Very recently, we saw some primaries over there to elect one person. We have, as you are saying, almost 80,000 people, and just 1,000 and something people decide for the whole constituency because of what they earned from that. 9 people contesting. Go and ask. I don't want to mention name. Some of the aspirants are complaining that this and this and this nowadays is negotiation. What you give me? How much do you give me? How much do you give me? We have to change from that mindset. That's my advocacy.
Are you facing the same challenge in your campaign? Are people now demanding something from you?
When you go to the grassroots people, Nana, now also by my saying, oh, my brother. And I always say, this is what I'm advocating for. That we will change from that area, say Obama is saying, then focusing on the mindset of the person, the ideology. What is he campaigning for? Is he going there for himself or for the people? I'm just from one of your sister stations, and I learned some campaign officers are there. Some people are tied. Hey.
Meanwhile, the public servant has chosen some thematic areas to pursue his development agenda if successful in the race. Mr. Ajiman enumerated them to Joy News.
I've initiated some abbreviation called HEES. HEES. The H of our health sector. We have so many health centers, ship compounds, and other things. But my brother, if you go there, the development of over the infrastructure, and then the environment, conducive environment for the people to work is very, very tedious. So if you let me as an MP and I come down to observe all these things, I think I have to stand for you so that you can work in good environment. So health sector and then education. Right now the government or even in country we are propagating for TVET, GTVET. And having background of Ghana TVET services, I think we have to advocate for that policy down to the people of the constituency to understand the concept. Because as a liaison officer in Adakojachi Technical Institute, when the government make the placement of the children, my brother, come and see accommodation program, lack of lecture halls and other things. All these areas, we have to see to it that it will improve. And then entrepreneurship. We have to pray for proper conducive environment for entrepreneurship. That's businessmen, market women, etc. and etc. If you come to Ejisu market is very big in Ashanti region. So I will see to it that the ladies, women over Ejisu will get a conducive environment to work. That is entrepreneurship, and other, the youth outcomes will see where they will get proper thing to do to get their daily bread. And the last S also stand for the security of my people.
Leader of the Movement for Change, Alan Kwejo Tremantin, says that 9 groups that have joined his party to form an alliance will still campaign on their symbols, but will have him as their candidate. His Movement for Change, Abu Sakare's National Interest Movement, and 8 other groups formed an alliance this week seeking to, among other things, break the NDC-NPP duopoly in the upcoming elections. Alan Tremantin says, though there's an alliance that supports his candidature, all the other groups are free to nominate their own parliamentary candidates, which the alliance will support. He spoke with me earlier on Joy News Desk.
The alliance is not a major
of
the constituent political entities. It's an alliance. Because it's not a major, each of the constituent or each member of the alliance would keep their own identity. As a political group, will keep their own symbol. But we all campaign as a group for the general election in December.
But you will lead them?
Yes, and they've also agreed as part of the arrangements, the alliance arrangements, for myself to be the presidential candidate. So they've endorsed, the alliance partners have endorsed my candidature to become the presidential candidate. However, and they of course all campaign for me, but they will keep their individual identities. And the second slight correction I wanted to make also is that we've come together, yes, to break the duopoly, but also to do different things. One clearly is to go beyond the duopoly, because we believe it's not held our political dispensation. But we've also come together because we all believe that Ghana needs to have transformational policies in all spheres of national life, in the economy, in health, in education, in energy, in governance. So all these sectors of our national life. And they've agreed, as the alliance partners have also agreed, that they will use the Great Transformational Plan as the blueprint for the alliance and by extension to fight the general election.
So, I mean, how does this work, that they will still be in their own groupings and then they still believe in your transformational agenda?
Well, that's the interesting part of it. And it shows you that it's not a marriage of convenience, but we're all fighting for a common cause. Now, so they are working to ensure that Ghana has A, B, C, D, the things that I talked about. It's the same thing that I'm talking about. So it doesn't matter that they still keep their individual identities. Once we are talking about the same thing, then my understanding is that they believe that they are not necessarily subordinating their interests to the movement for change.
Okay.
But they are collaborating and working together to achieve the same objectives.
Alan Sherman-Tim, meanwhile, says his movement is flexible when it comes to the selection of ministers for his government, explaining why his government won't hesitate to choose a minister from the NDC or the NPP. He said he will focus on competence and not party colors.
Because we are working towards a government of national unity, a representative government, a government that would have, I would say, members from the NDC, from MPP, from the smaller parties, and also members from the business community, from the traditional authorities, from different interest groups.
Yeah.
Now, in line with the constitutional provision of selecting 50% of ministers from them, it means that those who are represented in parliament, including also independent candidates, will all get the opportunity to be part of our government, which is different from the current dispensation. It is most unlikely in this dispensation, where you have this duopoly, that an NDC government or an NPP government will appoint an NDC MP as a member of the executive.
Okay.
You see, but the point is that this system is not sustainable.
Well, the Movement for Change leader has also been speaking on his choice of a running mate.
We are focusing on the presidential ticket because that's what appears on the ballot paper. And that's where the controversy normally is. But once, as alliance partners, they've all agreed that Alan becomes the candidate, the presidential candidate. The choice of the running mate will be decided by all the alliance partners based on certain considerations, criteria. We all sit together and then determine the criteria for selecting. And that's the beauty of it, because it's the same way that they all agreed to one person becoming the candidate, even though they were all going to contest as presidential candidates, which was a more difficult task. In my view, selecting a vice presidential candidate would be much easier.
Okay.
But it means that it will be a decision of all the alliance partners.
And you've not made that decision yet?
No, we've not made, because we've just launched the alliance. The alliance. Okay. So we'll make that decision. But all of us have agreed that we don't need to focus on that. The important thing is to get our campaign moving.
Alan Sherman-Tim says he will focus on reducing taxes to help expand businesses when he becomes president. He says countries like France and Japan, who built their states on industrialization, did not overburden their citizens with direct taxes, explaining why he couldn't effect that change whilst NPP Minister for Trade. He says the finance minister was the sole decision maker. Alan Sherman-Tim, who believes reducing taxes is the way to go, says he will have the free hand to operate when he becomes the president.
I feel that the way we've structured our economy with high taxes, it would always create a problem in terms of how competitive we are. But you also know that if you have high taxes, then we have high inflation. Because the cost of production, when you have high taxes, means that the cost of production will be high.
Okay.
If you have high interest rates, it means that the cost of production will be high. If your cost of production is high, you pass it on to your consumers, so it will reflect in inflation, which is the level of prices in the economy. So everything is interrelated.
Okay.
If you don't have a stable currency, your inflation would also go up. Because if right now, as we see, if the cedi depreciates and you are importing goods, it means that you need more cedis to a dollar. And once that happens, then when you import goods, it means that you have to reflect the depreciation of the cedi in your price.
Well, we've been asking electorates of what they think about this alliance.
It's not going to make any change. What we know, or what Ghanaians know, is the main traditional parties, that is the MPP and DC. Nothing is going to change about that. It will be better. It will be better. What are they bringing on board? They don't have the force that they are claiming they have. It's going to be the two traditional parties, definitely.
It won't change anything. That's why I'm saying it's an alliance of personal interests. They are all coming to fight for their personal interests. They are not bringing anything new, because Alan was a minister for 4 years before the second term of this government. He was also appointed. So when things were not well, at the first he should have resigned. But because of interest, that's why he has now resigned. So nothing new. It's a force or alliance of personal interests and nothing new. When we bring the new force in, they are also now coming to start to build what MPP and NDC has built. We have to force the MPP and then the NDC to do what is right. Why we voted for them. Because when we bring these people in, they also come to do the same. So nothing will change. So we will force them. We will be on their nerves to do what is right.
I think that it is a step in the right direction. Personally, I will say that I've had enough of the two traditional political parties in the country. And we've tried and tested them. And if there is a need, change is inevitable. If Ghanaians will give the third force a chance, why not?
Usually when they start like this, the euphoria is very high. But in the end, when the results are collated and declared, you realize that they don't make the mark that we all expect them to make. So I just hope that this time it will be something different. Yes, it does appear to me that a lot of people are fed up with the two parties, NDC and MPP, the duopoly. So they will complain, but by the time it gets to election, people will go back to their traditional parties, that is the NDC and the MPP. So yes, it does look so, but it depends on how this force is able to, convince people that they are coming to do better.
The Alliance for Revelation I think it's good, because they coming together. This MPP and NDC, we know them, have not been making any change. No economic. You see, we have economic hardship right now. So I think they coming together could change something. So we should give them some opportunity. I think they will bring some change.
Break on election brief. We'll be back with more. Welcome back to Election Brief. Today we will take you to the community of Alaje here in Accra for what will inform their choice of a presidential candidate and a parliamentary candidate in the upcoming elections.
Nana Kufuado waebi. Bia waye ne say, o sikani ne ba okwa secondary school. O hienyi so ne ba okwa secondary school. Enti nka na wo ba kwa secondary school a na nye sika adefem. Nti se si ya no papa no waye bi oni elkote omo aye bi me a me wa hempo ne amedia eden eso ha me we eye pipifo asase ene yete so aye didi so ye da ho wo mo nje ya hwe ena se waton wade ewie ne wa akoda nti se me se abad mato ama elkote.
I'm well willing to vote, and my point of view to vote is because things are hard. Things are very hard in this country. So I privilege myself that I want to vote so that things will change more. Because as I'm talking now, petrol, diesel, everything's are high. And we are suffering in the country, which we are very, very more serious. So I devoted myself with all my boys that will sit down and vote for only one person that would deserve to vote for him. I know the person in my head. That is only what I have to tell you people.
But MPP and Ni MP party a be boaye. NDC ba, the MPP be na no an obeye. Nti aka me nkwanka, NDC ni MPP nyina nchen.
Ele ya me say afra so say beto aba bio. Be ade o mu say Ghana edwuma say economy na enye. What I say, edwuma ni ho. Mba mu no ye bre. Oh, mba mu no ye bre edwuma ni ho man. Oh, any politicians de bia on ba dada. Oh, nti si anu ye ho adwen wo so because Ghana so edwuma so ni ho man. Nti edwuma no bad ya ndi ma Ghana economy so na enye. What I say, ye bia say. So, any one thing so no, your close na asundwe ni ho enye. Be asundwe de wo Ghana. Because political parties omo nkunta kom ye bia. But one thing say edwuma ni ho. Won, economy na say.
Obliyin bia me nya me na nutumo be. Culture be hey.
We are some wide pa. And here is this, Otto and Yento, be bia wide. Timon pa, and Kazan come into Aba. And see us 7 penny for 1 year more. No more. Never we are saying, Never Namungo Maya. Yes, you enter into Aba, and some coin, yes, young Quayanu. Now, why now about to Abane, one solemn money, Baba, Nila Weba, never fell no papa how. To be many or no na me fio no papa ha wo money baba ho e wo pa me ni ye fe komi come on ba ni tuning papa ha wo kala ba ya come on tu no papa ha wo ba je se ajaka ye nakane ma be wa shika be ma mi ko to aye ni onyo he o awe ne onyo wo o mi pa fai no pa ye da na me ka ba bi wo chan sane ni one wie ake no fe no mi afi han hawo.
Things are very, very hard. Even now, as I'm talking to you, pure water self, it will be hardly for you to buy pure water. You can wake up early in the morning to find even 10 Ghana cedi to buy even a wachi. It's hardly for you to get it. Why didn't I vote? I vote, and I want my people also, and me myself to vote to change. We need change. We are human beings in Alajo. We are very, very serious, and we are not joking.
This is your election brief. It's on your election headquarters. Election headquarters is for uninformed electorates. For more of the news, log on to myjournline.com and all the updates of the developing stories. My name is Ejisu By-Election. Do enjoy the rest of our programs.